Nothing new for LeBron to be down 0-2 to the Warriors in the finals, right? Actually happened each of the past 2 seasons. This is 2016. They lost the first 2 games in Oakland. James responded. 32 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, which seems like a monster game most of the time, but pedestrian for him. Here's how it ended, though. They won by 30 in Game 3. Crushed them. Cavs would fall in Game 4, eventually rally from 3-1 down to win the title. Last year, guess what? We're down 0-2 again, 2017 finals. LeBron, 39 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, a little better raw numbers. Kevin Durant's late go-ahead 3, though. Got it. Andre Iguodala's strip of James with 12 seconds to go sealed a 118-113 win for the Warriors. So then they're up 3-0, and in the NBA, nobody comes back from that. Golden State would go on to win the series in 5 games, their second title in 3 years.
Brian Windhorst joins us now for his analysis after watching Game 2 at Oracle. We heard from LeBron James at the podium. He sounds very steady, doesn't like being down 0-2, but goes back home and thinks his team can get it together. Do you see a different thing?
Well, I think there was a very frustrating night for the Cavs, as it has been for many teams on this court over the last 4 years, Kenny. I was really watching the huddles with LeBron because the Warriors changed a lot in their game plan in this game. Not just their starting lineup and their offensive strategy, but their defensive strategy. They were picking LeBron up full court. They were double-teaming him. They were forcing the ball out of his hands. Essentially, Kenny, what they were doing is saying, we don't believe your teammates can beat us, and they were right tonight. And in the huddles, LeBron was really engaged, trying to get his teammates to move off the ball, to make countermeasures. He was really trying to rally them. And as the game went on, I just watched him get more and more defeated because his team wasn't keeping up with the countermeasures, and Curry just kept hitting the threes. And that's something that you fight against the Warriors is, when you play them on a night where they're awesome, which the Cavs have many times. They've lost 13 times to the Warriors in the playoffs in the last 4 years now. It's really a mental challenge, and it's another reason why Game 1 hurts so much, because when you have an opportunity, you have to get it, because you have nights like tonight.
Did you notice in their attitude as they were leaving any comments they made that they are really down? Or is it more like what LeBron presented at the podium, that it's just business? They lost 2 games to the team that has home court, and now they get 2 games at home.
Well, it is true that LeBron has done this 3 times. He's come back 3 times from 2-0 down in his career to win series. Unfortunately for the Cavs, it's only happened 20 times in the history of the league, and he's done it 15% of those. So he's already pressing it a little bit. But Tristan Thompson was something special in the locker room tonight, because they asked if he felt helpless against Steph Curry, and then he let off a stream of expletives and ended the interview. And I think that pretty much sums up the Cavs. Nothing could be more exciting than being down 2-0 and getting on a 5-hour flight to go home. I think that's where the Cavs are, just like they have been for the last few years here.
All right, Brian, enjoy the trip east and Game 3. All right, Cavs were the big underdogs coming into this series, 13-2, meaning bet $2 if they were to win, you'd get 15 back. Warriors were 1-10. Bet $2, you get 20 cents if they pull it off. Well, $2.20. Now with the 2-0 lead, Warriors are 1-25 if we want that action. Smith on board now. Let's reflect back when the Cavaliers were down 0-2 to the Celtics. Everyone thought the sky was falling. Is it falling? They're down 0-2 again.
Yes, it is. It's falling because LeBron James is not getting any production from his supposed supporting cast outside of Kevin Love. J.R. Smith, 31 minutes, 2 of 9 shooting. It's time for him to be benched. It's time for a change. And the other half, when you look at Golden State, look at what you're getting. Klay Thompson's a model of consistency. Kevin Durant showed up in Game 2, wanted no parts of LeBron James in Game 1. That was not his problem in Game 2. Give him credit where credit is due. He played an absolute marvelous game, and he showed up and played like the star that he is when you need to play like that going up against LeBron James. And, of course, Steph Curry is just a superstar, the greatest shooter I have ever seen. As far as I'm concerned, any of us should have ever seen. 9 of 17 from three-point range, 33 points, ran the point with, just with perfection. He was sensational today as well. In the end, what it comes down to is that Golden State has stars who show up, and they get a collective effort from the supplementary parts. LeBron James got an APB out for most of his squad. Can't find him whatsoever, especially his shooting guard, JR, who once again can't even score in double figures. It's a travesty.
In the third quarter, when Cleveland made a bit of a run, Kevin Love started to feel it. Did you still get the sense that Golden State had total control of this thing?
Of course you did. The reason why you got that sense is because Cleveland wasn't stopping them from scoring. Every time they needed to make a run, they made a run. Whether it was a three from Curry, David West came off the bench and hit a three, for crying out loud. JaVale McGee, the game started off with JaVale McGee, the Shaq in the food for JaVale McGee, hitting his first 4 shots, okay? Notice I didn't mention Kevin Durant or Klay Thompson as of yet. JaVale McGee started it off. David West made a contribution. Of course, Sean Livingston was going to do the same, but the 4 All-Stars that you have on this squad, for the most part, are dependable. They do what they're supposed to do. They show up. And the individuals that are supposed to show up with LeBron James, Kevin Love is the only one that gives you something. George Hill gave you 12 points in the first half, but then regressed back to form in the second half, netting only 3 points. And I think that if you're Ty Lue, desperate times call for desperate measures. Bench J.R. Smith, bring in Kyle Korver, give Rodney Hood more than 4 minutes, and make sure it's not garbage time. Make sure it's quality time. He is 6'8". He did average 17 a game when he was in Utah before you acquired him. Give somebody a chance, because the individuals that you've been giving chances to are not getting the job done, and it's so flagrant and so bad. LeBron James looked depressed out there half the time, like there was absolutely positively nobody that he could rely upon. He doesn't deserve to be completely absolved, because it looked like he was lagging a little bit and the energy and the fervor wasn't there. But nevertheless, we all know that he's going to bring something, as 29, 13, and 9 indicated. But in the end, it's just not enough. He needs help.
I'm going to take another whack at what I tried at the top. They're going to go back home. You know, this is a scheduled 7-game series. I don't see any reason they can't get themselves back to get that feel when they got the home crowd behind them.
Well, that's you, Kenny, man, because you're an eternal optimist. I mean, you're a special, special guy. This is why you're making commercials. This is why you host the Sports Center. This is why you're one of the stars of the network, because you're an incredibly nice guy. You try to find the silver lining, and God bless you. You're a special man, because it doesn't apply here. It's not going to happen here. This series probably ain't going 6 games. Now, you don't want to say that because you're a nice guy. I'm just a realist, and I'm here. And I got to travel to Cleveland with connecting flights. I'm in no mood to be optimistic. I'm in the mood to be real. And the reality is that this team doesn't compare to the Golden State Warriors unless you get an extraordinary effort from individuals who seem allergic to doing so. What else do you want me to say?
I feel like you're masking what you're really trying to say, Stephen A. Smith. Hey, enjoy the trip, the connection, the layover, everything, and we'll see you after and before Game 3.
All right.
2, town versus land.
You cannot take a commanding 2-0 lead without a game 2. Likewise, you can't even a series at 1-1 and steal home court advantage without a game 2. So it's very key. That's why we're fond of it.
Do it.
Here we go. Cavs. Oh, my. Apparently the short look is still in. J.R. Smith, he's in the house. Game's still tied at 0. Yeah, they love him at Golden State. Smith also received an ovation during introductions of Game 2. Warriors making themselves right at home. Very first possession, JaVale McGee inserted into the starting lineup, but then he inserts the basket into the ball off a little slip screen. Good pass by Steph Curry. And then Draymond Green up top. Nice work there. More points in the paint for the Warriors. Curry, ball in transition. Sean Livingston's got himself an easy deuce. He had 10 points and 5 of 5 shooting. Durant had 26 points. Curry blows by Love. Warriors 9 of 9 in the paint in the first half. 8 of those uncontested. Other end, LeBron doing work. Kevin Love finds him, and then we'll return the favor. Good little drop pass down there to Love. LeBron spinning by Durant, by McGee. Big first quarter, 10 points, 5 assists. Cavs trailed 32-28, which is pretty good. Golden State shot 65% in the first 12 minutes. LeBron in transition, missing. Keep an eye on James. This time he does not get back. We're not hustling back. We're conserving energy. And eventually, Durant, McGee, flush it. McGee, 6 for 6, 12 points in this one. LeBron, again, he's there if you need him. A little more than 2 minutes to go. Curry pulls up, makes that 3. Kind of willed it in. Got a minute 10 left. Curry pushing it. And eventually he's just going to stop. Fire it. Members bounce there. Another 3, as you see. Circles around. In it goes. Warriors up 59-46 at intermission. Third quarter, that's usually when the Warriors come out and just crush people. Actually, the Cavs are going to make up 2 points in this one. LeBron to Tristan Thompson. That's LeBron's 10th assist at that point. There was 6:45 left in the third. LeBron Love, he found his three-point stroke there. Got it down to 5. LeBron, no stopping that train. Still 5-point game. Klay Thompson, how's the ankle? It'll hold up well. He had 20 points. Drains that one. The lead's back up to 8. And then we're closing out the quarter. David West, his only bucket. Look at the big fella from the corner knock it down. 90-80 going to the fourth quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, this was all about Steph Curry. Curry, step back. Larry Nance. Sorry to have to put your name in that, but he kind of troubled you. Curry, little pump fake. Wait, there goes. Let Nance go by. Fans like that. Mama likes that. Mama happy. Everybody's happy. Kevin Durant's happy. No reason. Well, that guy's not happy. Warriors up 11. 8 to go. Curry. Shot clock expiring. That's a heave. But when you're really good, two-time MVP, and you can shoot like that, heaves go in sometimes. That's when you go, you know what, that's foolish, and perhaps we'll do better when we get back to Cleveland. Curry, corner, got that one. He's on his way to a record shooting performance. 9 threes in this game. There's the record breaker, surpassing Ray Allen's 8 that he had when he was with the Celtics in 2010. Curry finishes up 33 points, 122-103 the final. 2-zip lead for Klay Thompson and Steph. Clay's was Ramona Shelburne.
Steph Curry had 9 three-pointers tonight. That's an NBA Finals record. You had it going. Each of the big three had 20 points. What did you guys do differently from game one?
I think we picked up the pace. Last game we played the slowest pace all postseason. And we're at our best when we're running up and down, getting easy looks in transition. It just makes a half-court offense that much easier.
Yesterday you were walking with a pretty bad limp, but we didn't see any evidence of that today. How close were you to not being able to play out here?
It was hurting, but I took all the right remedies and told myself I could be sore going into the summer. So I'll be back Wednesday, hopefully no pain. But it's gut check time now. It's no time to feel sorry for yourself.
LeBron James had 51 points in game one. Tonight he almost had a triple-double, but you limited his impact on the game. What did you do differently defensively?
I don't think we let him get too comfortable, especially around the perimeter. He's going to make shots. But when we just let him dribble up and take uncontested threes, he's impossible to stop. So we picked him up higher in the half court, and we rotated even better. And we just try to show him a lot of bodies in the lane because if he's going against one guy, it's not fair to that defender.
So Steph Curry comes alive in the fourth quarter, scored 16 points and 63% shooting, including 5 of 5 from 3. Scored 17 points in the first 3 quarters, shot 4 of 12. But when that guy's in, it's a different offensive group. Here's both coaches on the fireworks provided by Curry.
Yeah, it's hard to think back to all the games, but he was tremendous, and 9 threes and seemed to hit a big shot every time we needed one. But yeah, he was fantastic.
When Steph takes these circus shots that are impossible for anybody else to make, how deflating can that be for an opponent?
I don't know. I've never played or coached against Steph. We feel a lot of joy when he makes them, so that's not a question for me. By the way, I thought you guys were much better today. Good job.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, he makes tough shots. That's what he does. And even switching to pick and roll, having a 5-man guarding him, it makes a move. You get a good contest. But once he releases it, he sees the basket, he usually makes it. But he's going to make tough shots. That's what he does.
Steph Curry getting recognized more and more. Tim Legler on board to break this down. We've talked about it a bunch. Golden State has so many sources of offense. We'll get to Curry in a second, but Durant was impeccable. The surprise 6 for 6 out of JaVale. Livingston was good. Klay was good. I mean, they can hit you from all sides.
Yeah, they can, and Cleveland has different schemes and strategies defensively for this team, but Golden State's always got an answer because they've got so many guys that can hurt you in so many ways. I just thought he played a really efficient game. Give him credit because Cleveland was going to be not only desperate, they were going to play with a huge chip on their shoulder tonight because of the way Game 1 ended. So for Golden State to really put them away the way that they did in the fourth quarter, really impressive. And you had your best three players play great all night.
Here's Curry going up. He actually shot poorly from 2, 9 of 17 from 3. So outside is where he was hot.
And I'll say this, these are incredibly tough shots, obviously, but I'll say for Steph Curry to get switches and get guys like Kevin Love and Larry Nance and Osman and guys in front of him that he knows laterally can't guard him, the freedom he has in his mind of what he's about to do to you, even though it looks like a contested shot, for a guy on that level, it's really not. And if they don't start adjusting their strategy with these switches on Steph Curry, they have no shot to win this series and maybe not win a game. I just don't understand the unnecessary switches that far out on the floor when that's all he's trying to get, is to get Kevin Love on me, because it's a futile defensive strategy, and they seem to be stuck with it, and they're going to continue to do it. So, Steph Curry, it looks difficult at home, but for a guy that good, those aren't as tough as you think because he's on that level.
And when he's not shooting it, he makes those cutting passes. Yes. They hit so many easy lands. You'll hear from Steph presently in the show. All right. That looks like a blowout, but it really, really was closer than that final score, right? Cleveland had so many chances, they missed some open looks.
You and I were back there watching it, and I was pointing them out to you. Like, no team can hit you with a sledgehammer when you miss an opportunity the way Golden State can. Let me give you a couple examples. He's just so demoralizing. So here you go. You withstood the early onslaught, and it's an 8-point game, middle of the second. You're making a run. You're feeling better, and you've got the ball. Now, here we go. They operate the way they want to offensively. Nice split by LeBron. Frees it right there. I mean, he's done what he needs to do. He's got the initial guy. He's got a guy here. He's got a guy here. Look what you end up with if you're the Cavaliers. I mean, take your pick. 3 legitimate, good three-point shooters, all open. He makes the right play here. You even get a nice screen by Nance. Kevin Love, I mean, look at the distance he has when he catches this. It's an all-day wide-open shot. That would have cut it to 5. Instead, here's what happens going the other way. And I don't really understand right here what they're trying to come. So they're switching everything, right? So Love switches on to Curry, but for some reason, so if he's going this way and you're Kevin Love, you should be handing him off to George Hill. But for some reason, Steph Curry goes this and he fakes and comes back, but Kevin Love is still trying to chase him. So I don't even understand really what the Cavs are trying to accomplish. But now Curry comes back and he makes a little bit more of a contested 3. And just like that, now we got an 11-point game. So that's a 6-point swing. Another example here. LeBron, again, doing his thing, frees it right there. He's got 4 guys occupied visually, and he looks up. Jeff Green wide open in the corner. Makes the swing. Again, it's an 8-point game. Trying to close out the quarter. Misses that shot. What happens on the other end? Kevin Durant comes down, and if you're Cleveland, you do the right thing here. You got 3 backline defenders. We're not guarding David West. Larry Nance gets to the edge. LeBron leaves Jordan Bell. Korver's in touch here. The only guy you're staying in contact with is Clay. You can't play it any better, right? We don't need to guard David West. Well, problem is David West goes up and he makes a contested 3 right after you miss an open one. Just like that, again, it's an 11-point game. For me, those are so significant in the momentum shift in the game. 5 feels a lot different than 11. And it's demoralizing, and your shoulders drop, and you can't believe, like, the onslaught that they hit you with. That's why the margin for error is so razor thin and why it's so tough to guard this team, Kenny, for 48 minutes.
Tim Legler with the complex breakdown. The simple news is 2-0 Golden State.
You got more basketball acumen on display. Stephen A., Mark Jackson, how they saw Game 2, plus LeBron, Steph, all the principals talking to you about the NBA Finals on